box loud, hitting that stuff, do you hearing that sound?
What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to continue working on my investment property here, which is pretty crazy to think about, even me just saying that, because 4 years ago, yeah, I had 1,800 bucks in my name, the clothes on my back, a 550 credit score. I had a couple of tools, but I owned nothing. I had nothing. Literally owned nothing. I mean, go back on my YouTube channel, you'll see it. It's all there. It's all there. You see some of my old, like, earlier bowling ball videos and stuff. I was living, you could see the apartment that I was living in. That tiny, tiny room was all I had just 4 years ago. And, yeah, I've had the same job the entire time. I have the same job that I had then, I have now. I've been at the same job for like 8 years, 9 years. So the money hasn't changed. It's been the same money. I just learned things. I learned things. Like, just put the money in the right place at the right time. And put your money in things that are going to work for you. Or make you money. And work your ass off. Work your ass off. That's the only way out. It's the only way out of the muck. But yeah, I mean, like 4 years later, man, we're sitting in a multi-family house. Been in this unit for 1 year. A little over a year, actually. And we're almost done. Almost done with the first unit. And then once this is done, Duke said he's going to rent it out for buku bucks, and I'm going to move down. Right, Duke? He's already got his own door. He's good to go. He's going to start OnlyFans for cats. That's how he's going to pay the rent. I don't want to know, Duke. I don't want to know. Don't tell me what you do. Just get that money. But yeah, anyways, back to real life. We have to. Yeah, the reason I split up the first video, you know, all this, because I wanted to show the shop stuff and didn't want the video to be too long. So we went to the shop and made all the pieces and parts that we need. I went and grabbed the other doors this morning. I think it was a good idea to leave them overnight, let them kind of straighten out, and I planed them. Quickly swapped my sister's water heater over while I was over there, because she's about to have a kid and her water heater was about to blow up, so I jimmied up a new one for her right quick. And now we're back. So we got some priming to do, and then we're going to start sanding. Sand it all smooth, maybe get a finish coat on it, and then we can permanently install that cabinet, throw the door on it, whatever. We'll do the final coat later. Duke, I don't like the look in your eye. I don't like the look in your eye. Ah! You gonna let me work? Are you gonna torment me? Was it the OnlyFans thing? I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, Duke! Alright, seriously, we need to get busy here. Go do something. God, is that boring, man. Thank God for Metallica rocking in the background. Keeping me awake. I felt like a little kid trying not to fall asleep in his birthday cake, except it would have been my face and that. Right in the paint. But good news is, Duke only rubbed up against the cabinet once, so he only has paint down one side of his body. What happened, Duke? Did we get all that paint off of you? I'm sorry, kitty. Yeah, I've been stacking all kinds of goodies in here. These windows, they're nice. I just need to replace the screens. They're two exact same size and then a smaller one. I have a huge bay window on the 3-bedroom that the window's completely rotted. And I believe I can put these two windows side by side and make them work, and I didn't pay a dime for them. I'm just gonna have to power wash them, replace the screen, and you know, some 2x4s and some trim. Bob's your auntie. I got this nice vent hood here that just needs to be cleaned up. It's a nice stainless vent hood, meant for mounting under a cabinet. I also got this black and stainless electric stove from a job for free. They were just gonna throw it out. It works. It looks clean. It looks like they took good care of it. And it's made to the countertop to slip right under it on the back and the sides, so nothing can fall down behind or around the stove. So I'm saving this one for the 3-bedroom. You know, at some point I'd like to put that in there because I have no choice. In that apartment, I have to have cabinets and a wall right up next to it. And they've made an absolute mess over there. So yeah, saving that one for that. And then this one came from my dad's house. He took very good care of this. Just needs to be cleaned. He just got a new one because he wanted a even newer one and more badass, I guess. So yeah, he gave this to me. I mean, this thing's got all the bells and whistles, man. This is a gas, and that's what we need for upstairs. I believe the stoves on the downstairs are electric, and the stove in the 1-bedroom apartment is gas. So yeah, this thing would be really, really expensive if I had to. I mean, it's got a griddle for the middle. It's nice. It's really nice. This would be a super expensive stove for me to buy. But gonna take a few measurements, and then we'll go upstairs and try to simulate it somehow. All right, so the stove is 30 inches wide, 36 tall. It's gonna come off the wall about 28, 29 inches. If I go over the pipe, we don't have clearance here. So by code, it's 36 inches clear. We have 37 here. So I think we're gonna put the stove right up next to the pipe, and I'm just gonna paint this black, and we're gonna 90 and 90 tight to the wall, and I'll put the gas shut off behind the stove and then hook it up. And then that's not an issue anymore because it's slammed right up against the side of the stove. I don't have to worry about somebody falling on it or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's where that's gonna go. And then I started measuring other clearances. Right from here to here, we have clear 36. But this is going in the trash, and we're getting a smaller footprint heater for here. It's not as tall, it's not as deep, it's not as wide. And the goal for all of that was to try to open this, because we only have 19 inches here. I'd like to center the thing on the wall here, but I might have to shift the heater left a little bit so that we can try to open this up, so people don't have to go up and over, you know, to get furniture in rooms. Because I feel like if you don't have a clear path for them to move stuff, they will damage shit and break your stuff. God, dude, these things are so painted on. I gotta take a small flathead and a hammer and find the little flathead groove and basically use the hammer and a flathead like a chisel to chisel the paint out. And even after I got all the screws out, the door's being held by nothing but paint. There it is. Yikes. All right, we're clear. Did a little digging down on the floor there. This house is the gift that keeps on giving. Copper bars, baby. But this is crazy, man. That wasn't screwed in at all, wasn't nailed, just sitting there. These, just sitting there. A lot of fabric cobbling going on here. All right, guys. Well, I got that in, scribed, cut, screwed to the wall, good to go. Caulked it in. You can see I've been messing around over here a bit. So I started working on garbage disposal, electrical, changing the plugs, because they were tobacco flavored. Oh yeah, it's nasty. So new plugs, and basically this light was here. The wire came from up, so I put a junction box up in the cabinet so it's accessible. I can put a white cover plate over that, and then I snake the wire straight down to here, because you know I was going to run a switch over here for the garbage disposal, but you can see after I peeled that white stuff off, we have this nice 1/4 inch plywood. This is a perfect base to tile right on, and it goes behind the cabinets. So I don't want to cut it and make a mess. We're gonna tile, you know, right over this, because now we can. You know, if we couldn't have left these wires in here by code and just tiled over it. You need to be able to get to wherever the junction is, and I try to stick to the codes if I can, within reason, obviously. You know, like, yeah, this little job I did here, I cut in a pro vent. This is legal in like most states, but not my state. But it would require me to essentially run this pipe into the wall and then go up somehow and then come across this wall or in the ceiling and come all the way into here and tie into the main stack before it goes through the roof. There's no way that's happening right now. So Massachusetts can, yeah. It's better than what was here. At least it has a vent now. It's a spring-loaded valve. It's like taking your thumb off the top of a straw. When you take your thumb off the top of the straw, the water goes through the straw. Same principle. These are just giant straws. So that thing will close when it doesn't need air, so you don't get sewer gas. When it needs air, it'll open and let air in. And that pro vent will actually help my bathroom sink and shower drain faster as well because of the way it's piped. But yeah, we eventually we're gonna cut the copper back there, because this copper pipe has way too much pitch on it. You can see it's screaming. Too much pitch is not your friend. So we're gonna mellow that out a little bit. We're gonna fix that as well. You don't see, that's the thing on a pipe. Some people think the more pitch the better. That is false. 100% false. It needs to be a 1/4 inch per foot. And for bigger pipes, it's an 1/8 inch per foot. But yeah, I just ordered the countertops. They're going to Lowe's. I'm gonna pick them up as soon as they're ready. I got a 10-foot section by 25 inches deep, solid birch butcher block. You know, and it's unfinished, so we can cut and router and sand. And we're not doing an oil because tenants won't keep up with it. We're not doing epoxy because that's just too much. We're gonna go with polyurethane. That way, if a tenant kind of scuffs it up, I can give it a quick sand, another coat, and it'll look brand new again. You know what I'm saying? So the countertop was $230 after tax. And the reason we ran the wire for the garbage disposal down under the cabinet, and here's the disposal and the sink. So this sink, I figure if we're not gonna have a dishwasher, we should go with a deep, big, badass sink, right? And if we're doing butcher block, I don't want them cutting on the counter. So maybe we should supply a cutting board. So this sink solves a lot of problems for me. It's a big, deep, badass sink. Comes with a drying rack, a strainer. Comes with a wire rack for the bottom so they don't destroy the bottom of the sink. It comes with a cutting board. So I'm supplying a cutting board so they're not destroying the countertops. Comes with a nice high arc, like commercial looking faucet, and it has an extra hole. It has an extra hole that's just plugged with a stainless steel plug. So I'm gonna pop that stainless steel plug out, and we're gonna put an air switch in for the disposal. So all I need to do is run the wire underneath the sink. Look at that. Got the squiggly mess out. We'll just put in a nice, yeah. This is so painfully slow though. It's insane. Like this little gap I've been trying to dig out so that we can fill that proper with Bondo. You can see right here, I flushed this up because this was proud of this. So I just brought that down most of the way. That'll get finished with the sander. My Wood River number 4. This is my beater hand plane. It's not Lee Nielsen quality, but it's a good quality hand plane that cuts and stays sharp. I mean, this thing's for the price, I don't think you can beat this. Pretty good hand plane. I like the Lee Nielsen's better for fine woodworking, but this is not fine woodworking. Now is it? This is a mess. Flush that up. I just love these old hand planes. Make life so much easier. Because that was proud. It was flush up here, proud here, and I just beautiful. So we're down to the base layer and wood. And if I can get every panel to this, I'm hoping after a sand, whatever is not coming off is really, really on there. And I don't need to go any further. So I forgot, this scraper thing, it just doesn't last. You start scraping and you probably get like this much of it done and the blade's dull. And it just doesn't get old paint. This thing works great on new paint. New paint takes it right off. Right, but yeah. Old paint that's been on there for like a millennia doesn't touch it. But this, the same trick that I did for the doors, I'm doing here. I've got the Tormek T8. Got this puppy just set up, sitting here. And I'll do like maybe this whole panel here. And maybe this. And then it's dull. And it's just a beater like DeWalt chisel I don't care about. Then I'll come over here and touch it up, strop it, and then go on to another one. Because that paint scraper, man, like I went over this whole thing right here with that paint scraper, bearing down on it, like gouging edges in to try to get the paint off. You see how it leaves the metal color on the paint? It just doesn't want to take it off. Then you take a nice sharp chisel with 2 hands. It's easier. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Those are all good to go. I always like to put my stuff away sharp, so the next time I need it, I don't have to drag this out. But this is nice to have, I tell you what. This and this, the combination of both, 16,000 grit, whetstone, your diamond stones, your strops. I mean, that's not only nice for the shop, I keep that here. Like, that doesn't stay in my shop, that stays with me. Because everything, every single knife here will shave your fur or send you to the hospital very quickly. All right, we got the 18 gauge Milwaukee. I love this thing. Very nice to have. So I'm gonna go set up the miter saw outside right now. And we'll start cutting pieces like this. and tacking them in place. Got all of the face frame pieces in, only 2 of them, this one and this one. I needed to rip a tiny piece to stick behind to get it somewhat close. This needs to be flushed a little bit. Yeah, a little bit here, but this one here I toenailed up, and when we pull the sink out, I'll toenail it down as well. I saved myself a couple of screws, drill bit, and the bit right there, ready to go. So I think I'm gonna flush these up and then go see if I have some Bondo and start doing all of the major deep filling. All right, we got the Bondo on. So I think first up we're gonna do the bulk sand with 60 grit and just go over everything really quick to kind of flatten and get whatever we can off, and whatever's not gonna come off, at least 60 will really score it up nice. So whatever we put on top we'll grab. All right, it's almost 4 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna call it quits for today. That was pretty noisy. I mean, I know the whole house could hear that. The vacuum and the sander going. But the 80 grit did a really good job, man. It was smoothing everything out. Even took off some of the stuff I thought I was gonna have to fill. It just took it right off. So we still have minor filling to do with wood filler, which I'm gonna grab tomorrow. Small nail holes. Hand sand one last time. Then we're gonna prime everything. And I'm gonna caulk all of these cracks inside the cabinets. Normally I wouldn't do that, but as I've learned very quickly, being a landlord with tenants that cause roaches, if that ever happened up here, the roaches will go up in the cracks. You know, and they like to hide in these little cracks. So I'd prefer if they were all sealed and they didn't have the hiding place to begin with. So luckily inside the cabinets weren't painted a million times. Actually inside the old drawers there was no paint, it was just bare wood. So I'm the one that painted the old drawers just to kill the smell. So I'm not gonna worry about in here right now. I just want to get everything up to primer, which I did 100 grit with the orbital sander over the faces, and then hand sanded the corners and in here a little bit. And I figure we'll get everything up to primer so we can see if we missed anything, any last touch-ups. And then once that's done, we'll go over everything one last time with sandpaper, just by hand, 120 grit, and then we're ready for caulking and finish coats. But let's see what just a coat of primer will do for this. Sometimes it's amazing what paint does. Yeah. Caulking and paint makes it what it ain't. Actually, no, don't take that seriously. I shouldn't have said that. Ignore that. Because someone will actually take that seriously. Like the previous owner. I painted the fridge. It's brand spanking new. It was just all remodeled. Insulated the walls and everything. Just by painting it. I painted the pipes. I redid all the plumbing. That's not how it works, lady. It is looking better. We have a lot of stains coming through though. It's crazy how the tobacco smoke, how much damage it does. It really seeps in. Painted over this 3 times and we still have stains coming through. Alright guys, it's Friday. It has been a tough week for me. Starting to get a little stressed. Yeah, my mortgage company just said, surprise, your house insurance went up. Surprise, you owe us $2,000 and you got 30 days to pay it. And I looked at my credit card and I'm like, fuck. Yeah. And then the tenant downstairs still hasn't paid a dime in 3 months. Just getting bullshit stories out of them. Still waiting on the government to catch them up, if they ever will. And I opened up a hornet's nest last night. Not of hornets though, cockroaches, in my apartment. Which I pride myself on being a pretty clean person. Me and Duke are pretty tidy. I mean, it looks messy right now because there's just stuff everywhere. It's very hard to treat for roaches when you got cardboard boxes and stuff everywhere. But I was cutting the sink here. You know, I was sawzalling it because it was nailed in place through the top. And like 5 or 6 roaches fell down to the bottom, and I squished them all with my thumb. And as soon as I saw that, because, I mean, remember I had this wall and the floor open. That's how they got in here from the 3-bedroom apartment. They came up the wall and came in here when this was open. Now that's all sealed. They went straight in here and went up under the kitchen sink because I sprayed down at the bottoms. I sprayed the compressor motor. I sprayed across my rooms so they couldn't go in there. They were just up under the sink the entire time, festering, dude. And I think some of them went in here and went up the wall. Because I killed the 6 that I saw last night, and then I retreated all of this, hosed it all down with pesticide, sprayed the whole back, and then I got up this morning. I threw my dish in the tub. I got up this morning and I saw one up here, so I squished them. I saw a little one right here. I squished them. And then I came in here, and there was one there, one back there, one up there, and one in there. And I was like, dude, where the frig are they all coming from? Like, I really opened up a hornet's nest there. So I think we need to do this. You see how everything is sealed tight to those pipes? Toilet's caulked. I mean, I came in here and sprayed all the cracks under the vanity. I sprayed behind the toilet with pesticide. I mean, I bombed this room and then closed the door. But I made sure I killed every single one that I saw. Then retreated this again this morning before I went to work. Just really tried to bomb it good. But I feel like, I think we're gonna, I mean, we're here. We might as well, dude. I was just gonna put foam down the wall, but let's cut this. Pull that piece out. I'll get a piece of 1/2-inch drywall I got sitting in the basement. Install it. And mud everything tight. Well, guess what started coming out of these little cracks? I started to caulk them, and a couple of little tiny baby roaches came out. And probably a few got sealed in there, which is fine. Sealed into their tombs to die. I want to get this caulking on so it can start to dry, so we can you know, just throw a coat of paint over all of this when we're ready. But I'm gonna do a little bit more of inspection in the other cabinets, make sure I really get up under there. I got this out. I'm gonna grab some Quad Max and I'm gonna seal around those pipes. Can't really do much up here, so if a few went up, well, they went up. So I just want to seal this off, so that if they do come out, the only way they have to come out is through these electrical boxes, which I'm gonna have a treat waiting for them. Alright, well, we're at the point now where I don't really have a choice. I needed to pull the drain out of the way. I cut it all the way back because, I mean, it had way too much pitch on it, dude. Way too much. When you have too much pitch, it chokes off your vent. So, look at that. There's some weight there. That'll make some nice copper bars. Coming soon. I feel a lot better about that. All sealed up. I'm not even gonna sand it. I'm just gonna paint it. caulk it in after it dries. I got the rest of all this. God, the fumes are getting to me. I feel like I'm freaking high. But I sanded the rest of this. I filled it. And then got the rest of my Kills oil base, which I had to screen it because it was quite chunky. But I finished that off and just stain blocked the faces. Inside we don't need to worry about. It was just the faces that we had stains coming through. And yeah, I went down in the basement, checked on our tiling stuff. I had this box left over from my shower. Kind of figured it out. We need to go get one more box of these, but I know where I got them. I do have another box down there that's a different brand that the previous owner left here, but they're a different color. It's like a slightly different white. I had a ton of thin set left over from the base, bathroom. God, the freaking fumes, man. Bathroom floor and shower walls. I had tons of thin set left, but I also had this bucket of pre-mixed tile adhesive. This stuff's so much easier because it's already pre-mixed, ready to go. This bucket is probably almost a year old. It was used at a job once for a backsplash, then it went in my basement for 6 months, then it came back out, did another backsplash with it, and there's still like a good 1/3 to a half a bucket in there, and it's been sitting down there for like 8 months. I opened it up, it's still good. So this is a lot easier for a backsplash. No mixing, no nothing. You definitely don't want to use this in a bathroom though, anything that's going to get really wet, because this stuff turns back to mush if it gets too wet. Alright, so I waited for Duke to leave for the night. He won't be back until at least 11 o'clock tonight. Earliest. So, I went in here, and I mean, shit. Yeah, I'm not going in there. I mean, I bombed like behind the toilet, under the baseboards. I mean, I went everywhere. I misted everything down, and it is bad. That smells so strong, dude. It burns your nose. I also treated like around this cardboard box. Obviously, I moved Duke's food before I did that. I bombed all in here. I did around this door, and around my bedroom door one more time. I really got in here really good. And I'm gonna hit it again tomorrow when I leave. And I'm probably gonna pull the fridge out in the morning as well and hit that underneath that cabinet again. God, dude. That is a strong batch. Whew. That is a really strong batch. Alright guys, so I got up nice and early this morning. And I left a dirty dish right here as bait. Because if they're still here, I want to see them so I can kill them. But that strong batch that we used last night, and I think I figured out what happened and how this whole... Because I've been fighting roaches for 8 months in this building. And I think I'm slowly starting to figure them out. So, it started in the 3-bedroom because they moved way too many people in. And then those people left. And now there's just a normal amount of people down there. But we've been treating them, and the roaches were running away from the poison. Because they were dying. They were dropping in numbers quick. And they got up into the wall, and then when I opened this, they ran away. And they got up under my sink, which was a perfect scenario. The underneath of the countertop was wet. And there was food particles, and it was just like there was cracks and crevices, and it was bare exposed wood. I mean, it was perfect. An open wall. Yeah, and they just, in just like 3 to 4 weeks, exploded in numbers. It's absolutely insane. And then when I opened this hornet's nest and sprayed poison in the cabinet next to it, they booked it. And they went in here. Like, what the hell? So now they were cornered. They had nowhere else to run, because I treated all the door jambs for those rooms. So if they try to go in those rooms, they're dead. And there's no water source. They always go towards the water source, which is bathroom, kitchen. But yeah, I mean, I hosed it down in here last night, and I found one roach this morning, and he was just, he wasn't dead, but it seemed like he was stunned, you know, because usually they scatter when they see you or hear you. But he just sat there, and I squished him. So maybe they're, you know, I don't know if they're all gone, but I think that poison is doing its job. Dude, this stuff is amazing. It is so much easier to work with than thin set. You can spread it on the wall. You don't have to worry about it drying on you too quick. It has some strong grab. I mean, right away, as soon as you stick it on the wall. I could stick a tile up here and it would just stay there. It wouldn't slide down. It's insane. Very easy to work with. Cleans up with water. Yeah, and I like to back butter, which my boss used to give me shit for this all the time. You're making a mess. Well, he likes to just trowel it on the wall, stick the tile and tap it with his finger, and call it good. But I like to put just a little bit on the back of the tile. That way I know I have good coverage and I have enough mud, you know, behind the tile, that if something's off, like if the wall is off somewhere, I have a little squish, so I can squish one corner up or down and kind of try to get things as flat as possible. Duke is he's so used to me doing construction with the vacuum, and the tile saw makes a really loud noise. It doesn't even bug him anymore. He just strolls on through, eats his food, strolls back the other way. Noise doesn't bug him. All right, guys. So it's almost 12 noon. We're done. All cleaned up. I had to tack in a little piece of pine, because the wood that was there was too far back. I wanted it to be out so the tile can die into it, and we ended on a nice full tile. Beautiful. But while I was running around, I saw my neighbor outside. I've been waiting to just catch him outside, you know? And you can see, yeah, he's over there on the right hand side of the deck. He's staining the deck that I built him. I rebuilt that deck this summer, and I did his other deck last summer. But he's an old war vet. He doesn't take shit from nobody, and he's a silver stacker. He used to work for a coin shop, so I've been saving one of these for him. Except it had, on the brownie side, it had some really large defects, so I just couldn't sell it to anybody. And this one has a lot of defects on the front, so I just can't sell those to anybody. But I gave one to him, and he's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "That's 3/9 fine copper. Purified it myself." That's the YouTube channel logo, so make sure you subscribe. And he's like, "Dude, that's impressive." I'm like, "Yeah, throw that with your stack." But shit hits the fan. That guy, his entire backyard is one giant garden. Good guy to know. Good guy to be friendly with, you know what I'm saying? I'm covered in paint and tired. Doesn't look like I got much done, but God, is that tedious. I've got 2 coats, all of that, 2 coats, all of that, and 2 coats on the drawers. Yes. So we're gonna let all this dry and set up overnight. Get back at it in the morning. Well, the plan was to sleep in a little bit this morning. You know, it's 6:30, 7 o'clock. But I don't know what it is with Duke, man. I like, the cat door was open. He had plenty of food. I think he thinks it's his duty to wake me up at 4:30 in the morning. So get up! I'm like, all right. And I walk out here, and he just hauls ass out the door. He's like, okay, he's up. He's up. I did my job. But yeah, this morning I just said, screw the GoPro, man. I need to get this done. I really wanted to get completely finished, but I hit a few snags. A couple little small snags. But look at that. That is looking fresh. Yeah. That is looking much better. The next video, we're gonna do the before and after stuff. But I want to see the countertop, the sink, the whole 9 before we do that. This was kind of the goal, though, to have the overlaid doors and drawers, because it pops. It looks fresh, it's square, it's clean. You know what I mean? The new hardware. It just looks nice. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. I think the gray and the white looks cool. So one snag, I needed 3 hinges, not 2, because the face frame was bowed a little bit. So the middle of the door was rubbing, so I had to add a 3rd hinge to stop the rubbing. And also, 2 hinges is not enough for a door this size to get it to do its thing like that, a soft close. And we have our little rubber bumpers on, so no paint will stick. But you see these doors? It's kind of a big door, 2 hinges. Doesn't have the mustard to close. So I need to get 4 more hinges. 1 for there and 3 for that door. So I robbed the hinges from this door so I could at least finish the top. I'm gonna give it 1 more day to, like, everything to cure up nice. I'm gonna start shoving my stuff back in there. It is done, it is sealed. There ain't no roach activity no more. That was the first thing I did this morning. I got up, I left bait everywhere. I left dirty dishes right on the floor, right on the countertop. I left dirty dishes everywhere. I want to know if they're still here. And there was not a single one. I mean, I searched high and low. So I think our special batch with all the seasonings they like, yeah, it curbed their appetite and it killed them. Killed them dead. Yeah, the drawers. Yeah, everything is lined. I had to chamfer the back and chamfer the back of the drawer because I was getting hung up. It was getting hung up like right here. But now everything closes nice. I also put in the electrical box, the incinerator box, the air switch box ready to go. Nice and clean. Our new drain with normal pitch. It's not screaming uphill, it's perfect. So now we have a vent and we have normal pitch. This drain should drain really nice. Really nice. So I pulled out this spacer that we had, and this mud, our tile adhesive, is still wet. Like, it is still very, very wet, yeah. So I don't want to rush it. And I can't find my float. I don't know where my float is, so I need to go get a grout float. I noticed everything up here takes way longer to cure. Like Quad Max, it says 12 hours. Now it took a week to cure. I also got this done. Finish coated this. Lined that. I have a little bit of extra liner. I used pretty much all 6 rolls. This is all I have left. Which hopefully that's enough to do in there. I think it would be wise to do, because if tenants destroy that, I can just peel it out, put in a new one. But if they destroy the paint, and plus stuff seems to stick to the paint if it sits there too long, so I feel like that was a necessary thing to do. This looks amazing. Look at that, nice and straight. No more squiggly thing. Dude, badass. I can't wait to see it with the countertop and the sink and the garbage disposal. It's gonna look sweet. So yeah, I still got like 4 days until the countertop even arrives, so I have time to mess around with this. You know, I still gotta like scrape out the joints and get it all clean and ready for grout. But I figure I'm gonna take a break now. It's Sunday. I gotta go do landlord things like mow the grass, take the trash out, do my laundry. And plus, it's harvest day. It is harvest day. And I don't have a kitchen sink, so I need to pull all this out, harvest our crystals, and then set her back up. And we've got our stainless paper towel holder. That's gonna stay so that tenants have no excuse to screw anything under the cabinets. I'm gonna put a stainless towel hook right here so they can hang their towel. I mean, this is gonna be freaking sweet. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cap the video here because it's probably getting really long. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away. But next video is gonna be sweet because we're gonna see this done, functioning, working. We're gonna install this countertop, bring up the stove, and depending on time and money, you know, we're gonna have enough grout, we have enough tile adhesive. I just gotta get a few more tiles and metal edge bead, and maybe we can do like a tile backsplash here behind the stove going over the countertop there, and then do like a metal black wrought iron rack above with some hooks for hanging pots and pans or something like that. But yeah, like I said, it all depends on timing and money, because I have a buddy, as of right now it seems like it's gonna happen, but he wants to move back up here. So he's moving from Texas, and he's gonna come crash with me, and I have nowhere to put him, so I need to get all of this crap, kitchen stuff out. I need to finish painting, get all this stuff out. Duke's cat tree can go over in the corner. The copper stuff, I'll set up a plastic table over there and just set it up over there temporarily. Shove the couch over in that corner and he can crash in here. Just temporary. It's only for a few months until the downstairs apartment, the lease is up. And once it is, we're gonna move down into a much bigger apartment. I'll have help, I'll have more income. I'll be helping him, he'll be helping me. You know, it should work out. So yeah, I'm just trying to rush to get the big stuff done. Take it as it comes, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, that's it for this one. Make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up. See you in the next one.